Men, 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 manly men, 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 manly men, men, men.
Men, 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 manly men. Ooh.
Men, 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 manly men, 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 manly men, men, men.
So based on research we did before the interviews, we came up with our idea of the crisis of masculinity, and we want to make it clear that not everyone thinks about it the same way or talks about it in the same way, but we came up with a few aspects that we think make up the crisis of masculinity. So the first one is kind of how males, their roles are kind of pushed back by feminism that's on the rise, because everything that men thought made them masculine was oppressing females. And so when females are becoming empowered and they're getting jobs and they're becoming the providers, it kind of takes away the roles for the men. And so that created their crisis. They're like, what do we do now?
Kind of approach it as the reason why there's so much gang activity in urban areas is the lack of positive male role models. And that was something that was kind of paralleled in one of our interviews. Joel talked about growing up with just 4 sisters and a mom, and he felt like he wanted to be around other males and participate in more rough and tumble activities, so he joined Army cadets. And that's kind of the same logic behind why a lot of people think that young boys join gangs, partly to be protected, but also to develop these images of themselves as being able to protect themselves and be aggressive in ways that would give them more power in society.
Is the idea that males are taught to be much more aggressive and not to express their feelings. Part of this is biological, and we looked a little bit into the biology of it, that males just like naturally are a little bit more prone to be like much more like action oriented and learn through actually doing something, so that kind of goes a little bit into it. But then a lot of it we think is emphasized by this idea of performativity, in that males are really taught just to not, like, that it's not okay to cry, it's not okay to express emotion, it's much better to be as strong and almost as unfeeling as possible. So that's one of the crises of masculinity, or one idea of the crisis of masculinity,